Orbea Rallon Spec Downhill. Why is this bike so special and why is it getting so much hype? Is it just another downhill bike? Well, no, it's not. It is not just another downhill bike. It is not just another bike. It's actually two bikes in one with all of the adjustability you could ever dream of. So this, as you can see, is spec'd up for downhill. We've got a big triple clamp fork, we've got a huge shock on the back, and it's set up with downhill tyres on, ready to smash some trails here. However, this chassis, this frame here, is exactly the same as the Enduro version. Now, how does that work? Well, it's very complex and a bit too advanced for me to even understand, but some of the basic stuff that I can tell you is that the headset is adjustable, so by dropping out the fork, you spin around the bottom cup, and that will increase the steepness of the head angle. You would then change the linkage under here and put a different shock in, and suddenly you've got an Enduro bike with a nice little locker as well for putting your sandwich in and your toolbox. You can fit a water bottle to it, nice and comfortable. And I know I'm going to be biased, but isn't she a stunner? The low standover height, this thing is incredible. And next week I will be racing it, and I'm going to be racing it in not just a downhill race. I'm going to be racing downhill, enduro, dual slalom, and doing a whip off. So I need to get this bike set up as best I can. Now, we've done a couple of laps this morning just warming up, and the first thing I want to do is tweak something that is one of the main adjustability factors of this bike, and that is the weights. You can add and reduce weights to the bike to change the performance and to change the characteristics of it, especially in the corners, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So, bike is upside down. We have this lovely protective plastic cap. Push the button and simply pull it off. Now look at what we've got underneath. We've got a lot going on here. This is the different linkage. This is obviously the downhill spec. The Enduro one will change the geometry and especially how the rear shock works. So all we do is a 4mm Allen key to remove this weighted plate, and that does weigh quite a bit. There's 3 different weights that you can have on this, so we're going to take that one off. Side weights as well that go onto here. There's so much adjustability that's happening in here, and for now I want to try and make the bike as light as possible to start my testing. So remove all of the plates, all of the weights, and put the cap back on, and away we go. Another lap done, and this time we had no weights on the back. Now, I deliberately didn't change the shock settings, but when you think about it, by removing weight, obviously your shock and your fork is going to act differently. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to decrease the low speed rebound on the rear shock. I'm still going to keep the fork as it is because that actually felt quite balanced to me, but the liveliness of the bike, that's what I could really notice without the weights. And here comes my chauffeur. She's hot, nearly as hot as me. Snack time. I've already had my race bar this morning. Now it's time for some proper sugary stuff. Day one setup done. It's just a basic setup that I've done. I've gone for a lightweight version, so basically taking these beautifully machined weights off and the side plates as well, trying to get it down in weight. You might be able to read between the lines and work out what I am trying to do by making this bike lightweight. I am going to announce tomorrow where I am going with it, and I'm also going to be doing a full bike setup and showing you guys what my specific settings are. I think that's my favourite thing about this bike, is the adjustability that it has for each individual rider is mesmerising. It really is. The fact that you can turn this from a full downhill setup into an enduro bike is baffling, and to me it's a world first. It really is. Stay tuned tomorrow, we will announce where we're going and then we'll do a bike setup soon.